I'm going to explain to you how I made my most financially irresponsible decision to buy this car in the most financially responsible way possible. Then at the end of the video, I'm going to answer some Instagram questions from you guys. Roll the intro. Just kidding, I don't have an intro yet. So obviously buying a supercar is not a financially smart decision if you're trying to make money. You're probably going to lose money. But there's ways you can mitigate the losses, and one of the ways is to know the market of the supercar that you're interested in. So I was looking at the Audi R8 market for about a year, and when I saw the listing for this car pop up, I noticed that it was extremely low kilometers and it was reasonably priced. Like, it wasn't way too crazy high or way too crazy low. It was average. So the asking price for this car was $116,888. So when I saw the price tag, I didn't even bother reaching out to them because it was just out of my price range. I wasn't even considering it. Few weeks goes by, I'd say about 3 weeks. We go down and check it out. So when I went to go check it out, I went there with the mentality that I am not going to buy it today. I'm literally just going there to go look at it because I want something to do on a weekend. I was not going in there with intentions to buy it. And that is a really important key when you're going to look at a vehicle. Because when you go there, if you go there with your mindset thinking that like, oh, this is the vehicle I want, this is the one, I've been waiting so long, I need this one, then you're probably going to give in when it comes to negotiating. So I went in there with the I don't give a shit attitude. I'm just going to go check it out. So when I went into the dealership to take a look at this car, everything was clean and mint. Barely any scuffs, like a tiny scuff on the rim. So there was no doubt that it was in mint condition. But at the end of the day, like I said, I was not going there to buy it. I was just going there to look. So when it came to talking to the salesman, I told him that it's basically over my budget. I was just being entirely honest. It was over my budget and that I don't want to lowball an offer. So I'd rather not even give an offer. But he kind of encouraged me to just throw a number at him. So I was like, okay, well, I ended up offering $105K, which is about $12,000 under their asking price. And I did not expect them to accept that offer, and they didn't. They just, countered with, I think it was $111,888. So I told them like straight up, no, that was like not even close to what I'm willing to spend. So, have a good day. I'm going to go home now. Fast forward, I believe it was the next day, got a phone call from the supercar dealership, and they told me that they're willing to go a bit lower. I think they were willing to go $110K. That was their new offer. And I was like, oh, okay. Still out of my budget, not what I'm interested in paying. And we hung up the phone. After like maybe 3 days of phone calls back and forth negotiating, we finally settled on $106,000 with the dog fee already included in that price, with 2 brand new P0 tires for the rear because they were 10 years old on the back, so they needed to be replaced. So they agreed to that entire price point, but I said it was pending the PPI inspection. In fact, I told them several times that I was going to do 2 PPI inspections, one at the Audi dealership of my choice, and then the other one at my friend's shop, who I trust very much. I've always taken all my cars to him. So fast forward to the day before I purchased this car. The salesman brings the R8 to the Audi dealership so that we can drop it off there and they can do the PPI the next day in the morning. But before we dropped it off for the PPI, I got to do a short little test drive in it. I was pretty happy with it. Everything seemed normal. The steering felt a little heavy, but I talked to my friends after. They said that was normal. So one of the reasons why you want to get a PPI is obviously so you know what is right and what's wrong with the car, right? You need to do that if you're buying a supercar. Another reason why you want to get it is negotiation leverage. This is where the Audi dealership did something that I did not quite like. I was the one who paid for the PPI inspection. Therefore, I am their client. Therefore, the results of the PPI should come directly to me, right? However, the Audi dealership told the supercar dealership the results before I learned of the results. See, the problem with that is now the supercar dealership knows what the problem with the car is, which in this case was a leaky damper. So before I even learned the results of the PPI, I got a phone call from the supercar dealership telling me that I cannot take this car to my friend's shop to get inspected for the second PPI. I found that extremely strange because we had been talking prior to that. I had mentioned several times that I want 2 PPIs. There was no problem. So when they brought that up, I was a little confused, a little thrown off. And then after, I think it kind of made more sense once I learned that the Audi dealership told the results to the supercar dealership. I think the supercar dealership didn't want me looking into the leaky spring. The spring was a little bit of a concern, not a major concern, just more than what Audi kind of made it seem to be. So anyways, that kind of like threw a wrench in the negotiation. Not that big of a deal, just not super fond of what Audi dealership did. I tried to negotiate the price down a little bit lower due to the leaky damper. Those parts cost roughly $1,800 Canadian, but the supercar dealership wouldn't budge anymore. So I just, at the end of the day, I agreed to pay the $106K, knowing that that damper is probably going to need to be replaced within the next year or two. I also saved money by not financing this vehicle. I paid it outright, completely, everything up front. When I checked the finance rates with my bank, they wanted to give me 6.95%, about 7%, which is just way too high. So I just paid it all out, all at once, and that managed to save me a few extra $1,000 in interest. So in Vancouver, we have luxury car tax, and then we have like supercar tax. Car that is worth, I think it's over like $60,000, you got to pay 15% tax on the vehicle. If the vehicle is $125,000 to $150,000, you got to pay 20% tax. And if the vehicle is $150,000 to and above, then you got to pay 25% tax. So when I was looking for supercars, my budget was strictly below $125K. So I clearly managed to achieve that. We have a Crown Corporation here in BC, Canada that manages the insurance. We basically have no competition. It's just one company, and the rates most people would say are too high, especially relative to the United States. Our insurance is quite high. If we're looking at British Columbia, I am not paying very much for this car in terms of insurance, and that's because ICBC, what they do is they have a list of supercars, and if your car is on that list in a certain year, you have to pay higher insurance. Okay, kind of makes sense. This car is just under that threshold. If I got 1 year newer for this car, then I would be paying a lot more for insurance. So for this car total, I pay, let me see, I pay $2,853 Canadian per year for this car. And most would say most people in Vancouver would say, wow, that's really cheap. And it is, because it's under that threshold for that luxury supercar criteria. Just for reference, I pay about $2,400 Canadian per year for my 2015 GLA 45 AMG. So it's not that far off. So I saved money that way too by strategically picking a car that was below 2011 in the V10. If you get the V8, you can go 2012 and below. So let's move on to some Instagram questions. I asked you guys in my latest post, what do you guys want to know? Cost, insurance, pre-purchase inspection, results, reactions, let me know. More Life says, what your reaction to good reactions of others and also the bad reactions of others? So my reaction to the reaction. Okay. So to the bad ones, I haven't, oh yeah, I got one sort of bad encounter. I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose, but I was parked on the street and some guy threw a bottle of empty beer towards my car. Didn't hit my car, it just landed like a foot from my door. So I don't know if like they did that, I don't know, out of hatred or just like it was just coincidence, but that was a bad reaction. Good reaction is one time I was outside standing by my car and this guy walks by with his girl and he says to his girl, oh, I like the look of the original R8 better. I'm like, in my head, I didn't say anything, but in my head I'm like, dude, this is the original R8. Like, what are you talking about? People said I should have called them out. I was like, yeah, maybe I should have, but it would have been a total cock block. Michael Joyce says, is insurance more or less than the S1000 RR? Good question. The insurance on my S1000 RR is $1,315 per year Canadian. So this is roughly twice the cost of my BMW S1000 RR insurance. I want to know what number plate you decided on. Oh, right. So I'm thinking about several license plate. I like either drugs, meh, just MEH, BBT 888. Chinese people or in Vancouverites will get that joke. And what else? What was the other one I was thinking of? Like CEO, LOL. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about that one. I need ideas. I can't fit LightMode on there because it needs to be 6 characters. including numbers and letters and spaces. That's it. So there's not much I can do. Do you have any mods planned for her? I do sort of have loose plans right now. I'm definitely going to mod it, but not right away. I want to do more silly videos with it first, which is coming soon. I'm working on those first. This channel is not going to be like every other channel where it's just like, oh, mod this, mod that, mod this, mod that. No offense, Wall Terrific. I think your R8's great. And your content's great. I want to do silly stuff first. NNKC1030 says, what made you choose the R8 over other supercars? Affordability, depreciation, and aesthetics. I was considering like the 2005, 2006 Gallardo, but I never really found a good deal in the time that I was looking, so I kind of settled on this one. Alex Wishard says, 1, will you have Larry from Ammo NYC come out now and then for your detailing? I live in Vancouver, Canada. If that guy's in New York, probably not. And number 2, he says, what's taking the most getting used to you either did or didn't expect? Oh, that's a good question. The most getting used to. I think the attention. I don't like it. I like it online. That's cool. But like in person, it makes me a little uncomfortable. So I'm kind of getting used to it. What did I not expect? I didn't expect me to actually buy this, but I did. My friend Greg the Mountain 1290 says, will you put an N on the back of it so you fit in with the other supercar owners? If you're not from Vancouver, you're not going to get that joke. Basically over here, we have a lot of wealthy foreign immigrants, namely from Hong Kong, China area. And they hook their kids up with supercars. And then over here, when you're a new driver, you have to have like a green N sign on the back. So every time you see a supercar, it usually has like a green N on it. And you're just like, ah, wealthy foreigner. No, I will not be doing that. Maybe for a joke. We'll see. What's the miles per gallon and will you add any light strips to it somehow, says Zach West. Miles per gallon, I don't really know yet. I didn't really calculate it. I think it averages out to like 16 miles per gallon between city and highway. Light strips. A lot of people have been asking me to light this car up, so I might do that. I'm not sure how yet, but I'll probably look into it. Muguman says, I want to know if you can pop popcorn on your car. And I was like in the engine bay? And she's like, how many popcorn can you pop in your exhaust if exhaust can pop popcorn or other? You're confusing me. I don't know what you're saying. You want me to put like corn inside my exhaust pipe? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. First gear pull. Yes. More. Okay, anyways. Peace.